Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, WinThisOnline.com, and Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
It is a Friday, and we do appreciate you listening to the John and Heidi Show. Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning, John. How are you today?
Very good. Got a lot of fun stuff we're going to talk about on the program today. Looking over here, we're going to head to India to talk about a guy that was on a banana diet. We're also going to talk about Donald Trump.
I like Trump.
Yeah, you don't know if you're going to like his comments, but you'll probably like them. Also, we got the scoop of the day coming up. It's a lot of fun stuff. We're going to talk about somebody who stole some frozen pizzas. Yeah, it's an exciting day. And we're going to start things right now with this week's 10th anniversary of Dancing with the Stars. Can you believe that this week it marks the 10th anniversary?
No.
Doesn't seem like it's been around that long.
No.
And they say they're going to run the show for 10 more years until 2025. And then that's it. They're only going to do 10 more years. They've calculated, and that's how many B-list celebrities are out there. They're like, at a certain point, we're going to run out of people to do the dancing. Dancing with the Stars really is a funny name for it because half of these people, I have no clue who they are.
What? They're all
that's cool.
Wonderful people.
I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying, why do they call it Dancing with the Stars when I have to Google who they are? I'm like,
You know what, though? We're kind of stuck in a certain decade, so we have to Google who everybody is.
Yeah, there you go. That could be it. Maybe. So what you're saying is not the show, it's me?
Yes, it's definitely you.
Sometimes it's just me. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
This segment of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you want to buy an RV, check it out. And if you want to sell an RV, check it out. Helping connect buyers and sellers at RVWheelator.com.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
The BlackBerry phone company was ridiculed after they had a spelling error in one of their ads.
First of all, who's even paying attention to BlackBerry anymore?
We are. We have a BlackBerry app for the Sunny Radio.
We have an app, but I don't think we know anybody who's
utilizing
some people.
It. I know a guy that has a BlackBerry. And he was happy. He reached out to me and said, thank you so much. I'm not kidding you.
Well, then I apologize.
He reached out and said, thank you so much for having a BlackBerry app. Everybody forgets us. And I said, you're welcome. And now I know who it was that downloaded that. I was wondering who that might have been. They have in their ads, they misspelled something. And it's all part of their plan to sell more phones. On all of their labels, they're going to start misspelling it, APPLE. And then you say, there you go.
Yeah.
Buy one of these. It's a BlackBerry.
Mistake.
Ooh, we accidentally spelled it wrong. APPLE. I can relate. I remember making a little bit of a spelling error. Remember the bus ads? Instead of music?
Oh, yes. Mucic.
I had MUCIC, and it was on the buses for like a week.
It was before
anybody even noticed.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that. People probably noticed, but somebody noticed and said...
and told you.
The young lady called and she goes, so who's in charge of your advertising? I thought she wanted to buy ads.
That'd
I'm like,
me.
well, yeah, I can help you out. What's going on? She goes, I'm sitting behind this bus and it says 80s Mucic all the time. It's like, what's that now? Come again? I spelled music wrong.
That's hilarious.
So we got to fix it, and we fixed it with a different color because I wanted it to stand out because I thought it's kind of funny. I'm not above making mistakes. We all make mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes.
And I say it's not how everybody makes mistakes. So the real true measure of a person is how they recover from the mistake.
Right.
If you're going to make a mistake, you got to recover the right way. I've seen people make big mistakes, but the way they recovered, it makes you go, that was not a mistake.
That was a
it is so
bigger
cool
mistake
that it happened
than your
that
first
way.
mistake.
No, but I'm like, if they do it right, you're like, it's a good thing you made that
But
mistake.
sometimes if they recover wrong is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, that definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, the way we got on all this is BlackBerry made a mistake. They spelled BlackBerry wrong on their phone, or not on a phone, in an ad. They spelled something wrong in an ad. I don't think it was the word BlackBerry. I don't know. I haven't seen this ad. I do appreciate you though for tuning in on a Friday, and I realized just now that I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just move on because I want to make sure that I don't make any more mistakes. How's that sound? You are tuned in to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Thanks for listening.
This portion of the program is brought to you by WinThisOnline.com. If you have stuff you'd like to give away, do it for free. Check out the website WinThisOnline.com. It's also free to win stuff. Register today for your free account at WinThisOnline.com.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Gene Nidek died this week. You know who Gene was?
I have no idea.
Gene Nidek age 91, was the founder of Weight Watchers.
I did read that, actually.
Did you?
Yes. I just forgot because I really didn't care much.
Okay. Back in the 1970s, Jean sold Weight Watchers to who? Do you know?
Fat people.
No. No. Well, that too. She sold the company, is what I mean. Yes. I guess how could I possibly say you're wrong? I can't. No, the company was sold, and I don't know, but it was sold to the Heinz Food Company.
Ah.
Now, this is the thing that's interesting. Heinz Food Company makes stuff that makes you fat, and then they also sell you Weight Watchers to make you lose weight.
They're winning on both ends.
So like, hey, eat all this stuff, and now eat this for a while. Now eat all this stuff, now eat this for a while.
They know
I
what
thought
they're
that was
doing.
kind of interesting.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know if Weight Watchers, I've never used that program. Do we know anybody that's used that?
Yes. A friend of mine that I used to work with used to
Did it
use
work
Weight
really
Watchers.
well?
No.
Oh, really?
She ended up doing a diet similar to
the one we
Ideal
did?
Protein, and
Okay.
that one worked very well for her. So.
Isn't the Weight Watchers, that's the one that has Marie Osmond in the ads, right?
Yes.
Well, she looks good,
Yeah.
so it worked for her.
Yeah.
All right. If it worked for you, that's cool. Find something that works for you. I found something that worked for me, and then I went back to doing what I did before, and I look a lot like my before photo. I should maybe do that again. All right. Thanks for listening on a Friday. It's the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program brought to you by DirecTV. Sign up today at 1-800-259-7646. That's 1-800-259-7646.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
I've heard of them. They're famous. That's right, Mike. They are.
Got a bizarre story here from way up north, Heidi. We're in Gamble, Alaska, and 80 frozen pizzas were stolen on Sunday night.
Oh, that's
Who
a
would
shame.
steal frozen pizzas?
Somebody who likes pizza.
There you go. And well, we're going to just add to that. They're not very...
Just 80?
80 frozen pizzas. Only 8. What? They were going to have a small party? Well, of the 80 frozen pizzas that were stolen in the village of Gamble, Alaska, 75 have been recovered. That means they got away with 5 of them, if my math is correct. Police say they received a pretty strong investigative lead in the case when shortly after the theft was reported, John Kuzata and Louis Ovezen called Gamble Police Department trying to sell frozen pizzas to the police department.
That is so funny.
They called on-duty officers and said, hey, we got some pizzas here. Anybody there hungry for pizzas? Got some frozen pizzas. The police department. That would be the last place you'd call if you stole a bunch of pizzas. Why would you call them? These pizzas, do you suppose they're all sitting in the evidence room now?
I doubt it. They're probably in the break room. If there's even still any left.
That happened in Gamble, Alaska. True story. Not even kidding. We've got the scoop of the day on the way on the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Thanks for listening.
This portion of the program is brought to you by We Need Sponsors.
Hey, wait a minute. All right. I'll let you finish.
If my husband would go out and sell some advertising, I would have something to read here. Again, this portion of the program is brought to you by We Need Some Freaking Sponsors.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Time now for the scoop of the day. Are you ready?
I am always ready.
Mark Wahlberg and P. Diddy. They've got a bet on the Mayweather Pac-Man fight. I'm still not sure how you say it. I've heard it like 8 different ways. That guy that's going to be fighting Mayweather, they got to fight. Diddy is backing Mayweather. Wahlberg he's backing Pac-Man. Wahlberg is backing Pac-Man. The bet is worth, are you ready for this?
Absolutely.
How much do you think? If you were going to guess how much those two would be betting on this game, how much?
I honestly I couldn't even begin to guess.
$250,000.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a little out of my league. That's a lot out of my league. So,
whoa.
$250,000. Here's the thing. I wouldn't bet on anything for that amount.
Well, I wouldn't bet, period, because
that's a lot.
Silly.
So one of those guys is going to make $250,000 on this fight,
and one of them's going to lose $250,000
exactly
on this fight.
That is the craziest thing of all.
Oh,
all right,
man.
Justin Bieber is going to appear in Zoolander 2.
Justin Bieber?
Yeah, he's going to be in Zoolander 2. He's hoping to transform himself from a snotty, annoying, obnoxious singer into a snotty, annoying, obnoxious actor. Good luck on all that. I have a feeling
he'll succeed.
You bored with Bruce Jenner yet?
Yes.
Let's do a survey. Raise your hand if you can't get enough Bruce Jenner. Now raise your hand if you're bored with Bruce Jenner.
Absolutely bored with Bruce Jenner.
I think a lot of people are getting bored with this, and it's just getting more and more ridiculous.
Huh.
And now he's got a reality show. I don't get it. Anyway, let's move on to this. The mayor of New York, I believe that's a city on the East Coast. Not familiar with this one.
I've heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What state is that in?
New York, I believe.
Not sure where that's at either. Must be a little known place. Anyway, he's pledged to make his city pollution. I'm sorry. He made his city pollution. I'm going to read this the way I was going to say it, and then I'll read it the right way. He's going to make his city pollution free. I think that he meant you're going to have some free city pollution. I think what I meant to say is he's
going to
making
make the city pollution free.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's probably right.
That's funny.
He's going to do that. So I'm not exactly sure how, because that's a pretty big city, and there's quite a bit of pollution from that city. Maybe he's going to make that pollution absolutely free to anyone that wants to take it. That could be what he's doing. On the internet yesterday, there is a rumor McDonald's will fire Ronald McDonald. Do you think that'll happen? No. There's a rumor that McDonald's is getting rid of Ronald.
I don't think so. He's their mascot.
But they're saying they don't want to be known as a clown company. It's like,
really? And how are you going to turn that around after this long? Maybe they should have thought about that when they decided to get a clown as their mascot.
I just think that it makes sense for them. They're trying to upgrade their look. We've been into some of the McDonald's restaurants that are really nice and upscale. Been into some that are not, but we've been into some that are really upscale. And I've never really understood the whole clown. Because I'm like, why have a clown as your mascot? But you honestly think
even if they get rid of him, that people are going to be like...
They'll forget?
Right. I mean, there's just no way. They're going to know that there was a... They might as well keep him.
Well, I don't know. If he does get fired, those are pretty big shoes to fill. I mean, really big shoes. Really, really. So who would they have as a mascot then at McDonald's?
I have no idea.
Who do you think would be a good mascot for McDonald's? If they do, let's just pretend that the clown is gone. Do you think maybe one of the people, would they hire within? Would Grimace get the job as the mascot, you think?
I think they should bring Grimace back.
Do you think that maybe...
I thought Grimace kind of got the raw end of the deal.
Why?
There.
Did he go away?
Yeah. Grimace hasn't been around. Neither of the Fry Guys.
How about the Hamburglar?
No, for years and years and years.
Are they all unemployed?
Yes, they are.
So, maybe it's one of these guys gunning for Ronald's job. You think?
I don't know.
I have no clue. What the hell was Grimace anyway?
I don't know what he was. Was he purple?
He's a purple thing.
He was purple, a big purple blob.
But what was he supposed to be?
I have no idea.
Because when they built that mascot, they had to think, okay, over here, the Fry Guys. Let's make a guy that looks like fries.
Looks like French fries.
Hamburglar.
Yeah, the Hamburglar.
Yeah.
He looks
the Big
like
Mac.
hamburger.
What was the sheriff guy that was made with a giant cheeseburger? Was it Mac? Remember he had a burger head?
Name. I remember him, but I don't remember his name.
But then Grimace. What is it? Were they working on a large Coke? Okay, make a giant, like a large drink. What the heck is this? Well,
I don't know.
I was working on the model for it, and I left it in the sun, and it melted. We're on a deadline, so that's going to have to do. His name is Grimace. I have no idea.
Goodness.
We'll have to Google that later as well. I have a lot of stuff I need to Google today. Thank you so much for listening. This has been your Scoop of the Day on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program brought to you by BillionAuto.com. If you're looking to buy a car, they have a bunch of them. Maybe 1 billion. No guarantees on that. But I will guarantee you'll find a lot of cars at BillionAuto.com.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
The Wimbledon tennis tournament has, they're in the news again. We just talked about them.
We did, just
they
banned those selfie sticks.
That's what it was. I knew there was something. They banned selfie sticks. Well, now they're increasing the prize money to $40 million.
Oh.
I might learn how to play tennis.
I was just going to say, I need to learn how to play tennis.
$40 million to play tennis?
I'd play tennis for $40 million.
That is a lot of money to win for smacking a little fuzzy ball around. For playing tennis, you $40 million?
That's insane.
The tournament is in London in June. Tennis fans from all over the world show up to watch them play tennis. Who would you say is your favorite tennis player of all time?
McEnroe.
McEnroe?
Yeah, he
Not
would
Agassi?
get all mad and throw his racket. He was awesome to watch. He made watching tennis worthwhile.
I thought you were going to say almost
really
bearable.
No, he was amazing.
So McEnroe is your favorite. I always liked Andre Agassi. I don't know what it was about him. I just thought he seemed like such a real guy. And he always had like these beautiful women that were his dates and stuff.
Well, of course.
But I'm just going to say, but if he wasn't loaded, Doesn't he look like the kind of guy that you'd be throwing your keys to detail it? Detail my car. There you go, Andre. I mean, seriously, I just never understood. I was like, wow, he's a really good tennis player, but he's just such an ordinary guy that other than that tennis thing he had going,
other than that thing,
and now that I hear they can win
not all that impressive, really.
They can win $40 million winning a game. I'm thinking I might take up tennis. That's probably I wouldn't win, I'm sure, but that's something I maybe have to check into. All right, you're listening on a Friday. It is the John and Heidi Show. We appreciate you tuning in.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club.
I use their razors, and I absolutely love them. And if you would like to try some razors and get a little special discount and get me a little extra credit, check out dollarshaveclub.com/BigJohnSmall. I love their razors. I use them all the time.
I've tried to use them. He won't let me touch them.
Yeah, leave my razors alone. Get your own razors. They're dirt cheap. Go check them out. dollarshaveclub.com/BigJohnSmall, and you're going to absolutely love them.
Again, this portion of the program brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
I've heard of them. They're famous. That's right, Mike. They are.
Today is a very special day, Heidi. You know what today is?
What is today, John?
Today's Friday, the first
It
day
is Friday.
of May.
It is.
It's May Day.
I love May Day.
That's not all. It's other stuff too, but it's May Day, so happy May Day. You used to do May Day baskets.
With the kids, we did.
When did you quit doing that?
We still did them last year.
Did you?
Yeah, I gave them to Taylor, and Taylor went and...
Are you going to do those again this year?
Of course, it's May Day.
So that's a thing.
Yes, it's a thing. What do you think May Day is?
I don't know. I have no clue. I've never done it.
You guys didn't celebrate May Day?
No, not at all.
Oh, that's
Never
sad.
did that.
That's fun.
Yeah. So explain how you celebrate.
You make these little May Day baskets, and what we always did is when I was growing up, we went and bought like styrofoam cups, and then you fill each cup with popcorn and licorice and a bunch of different kinds of candies, and then you take them around the neighborhood and you give them to the neighborhood kids. And if you get to a house and you set it down and ring the doorbell, and if they come out and catch you, then they have to kiss you.
Really?
Yes. You're supposed to run away.
So if it's somebody you want to kiss, you just hang out. Like,
you just hang out.
Just holding your May Day basket. Hubba hubba. What if they don't know the rules?
Then they'll think you're a freak. And they probably don't know the rules.
All right. In addition to May Day, it is also Save the Rhino Day. Oh. So if you see a rhino in need, do the right thing. Save that rhino.
Nice.
Only today. If you see a rhino in need tomorrow, say, hey, tough luck, rhino. Good thing it wasn't yesterday. Hey, something else I want to share really quick. The IRS says 20% of the tax returns contain basic math errors. The other 60% don't.
Okay.
So 20% of the tax...
I get it. I get it.
You see that?
Yeah, I get it.
Basic math that I got wrong there. No, they did say, in all honesty, that 20% of the tax returns have basic math errors where they...
I'm sure they do, and it's just going to get worse.
We're not smart people.
No.
That's what I'm that's what I'm aiming at here. So for those of you that already got your taxes done, I know that was like 2 weeks ago was the deadline, so hopefully you got all that done. But as they're getting them, now they have a whole new department
and
where the IRS...
all of you got more money back than we did.
Well, we didn't get anything back.
That's what I'm saying.
We got to pay in.
That's what I'm saying.
And then the IRS now has to have people grading the IRS reports as they come in. You get yours back.
F.
You got a D on your taxes here this year. Yeah, you're gonna have to fix your math problems there. I wonder if it's because of the new math. Now we got all these people learning the new math.
You really think that people doing their taxes have learned a new math?
I'm just saying we got to blame it. Damn you, Common Core! Gonna blame that on them too. I mean, throw it their way. We got to blame it. Hey, we do have somebody blaming somebody for something. We're going to talk about that soon. Donald Trump blaming somebody for Baltimore. We're going to chat all about that. It is the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Thanks for listening.
This segment of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you want to buy an RV, check it out. And if you want to sell an RV, check it out. Helping connect buyers and sellers at RVWheelator.com.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Donald Trump was on Twitter blaming Obama for the Baltimore riots.
And?
I'm just saying, he was under fire for doing that. There are people that are upset because he was blaming Obama for that. Because at the end of the day, whose fault is it really? Really, it's the individuals that are doing it.
People that are doing it.
Yeah, they're the ones that need to take the responsibility.
But
here's what he's saying. He's saying that because of our current president, we have race relations at the worst levels they've been at in the history of our country. That's what he's saying.
And he's absolutely right.
Well, that's your opinion, and that's his opinion.
I'm sorry, but
and they're on
right.
Twitter. People are freaking out about it. So
well.
They're going to unfriend Donald Trump on Twitter, apparently. So he's losing all of his followers and his hair, but he just does the comb over with that. I don't know what he's going to do with his Twitter followers.
If he is losing his hair.
I think he is. What is going on up there?
What? I think he just likes it.
How could you like that? That is the weirdest hairdo I've ever seen.
It.
I'm not saying I've got like a great hairdo by any means, because I don't even know what you call this thing I have. But I certainly prefer mine over Donald Trump's, whatever that mess of do is he's got going on up there. Also, really quickly, on the internet yesterday, there's a rumor that Leonardo DiCaprio is now on the dating site Tinder.
Is he? I didn't even know he was single.
Yeah, he's
but I don't
single.
pay much attention to Leonardo DiCaprio, I guess. So.
In other news, there are a bunch of single dudes right now using Leonardo DiCaprio's photo to get dates on Tinder.
Like, he would have to use Tinder. I mean, he could literally walk outside and just yell, "Who wants to go out with Leonardo DiCaprio?" And he would have people lining up.
If he ever does that, I hope he does it on video. I would love to see that. Just shout it through the subways. Who wants to go on a date with the king of the world? When he rides the subway, he stands at the front of the car and he does that thing with his hands outstretched.
Probably. He should.
I'm the king of the subway. That's exactly what he does. You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. Thanks for tuning in on a Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by WinThisOnline.com. If you have stuff you'd like to give away, do it for free. Check out the website WinThisOnline.com. It's also free to win stuff. Register today for your free account at WinThisOnline.com.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
On TV yesterday, scientists who study dinosaurs say... I'm sorry. They say that the T-Rex had a vegetarian cousin.
What?
The T-Rex, you know, the dude that walks around with his little hands up.
The T-Rex is.
He had a vegetarian cousin.
All right.
So they had, you know, the T-Rex was a meat eater, and there was one that looked a lot like him, but he was a plant eater.
Okay.
So, and he had a brother-in-law that was gluten-free, and he had a cousin that preferred not to eat tomatoes. I don't know. How do they come up with this stuff? I think they found,
ridiculous.
well, because they found a skeleton of a dinosaur, fossils or whatnot, that had, you know.
Had some lettuce next to him or something.
Apparently had ordered a salad. So they're like, yeah, this guy right here, he's a vegetarian, see. I'm not sure how they know. Speaking of science, another scientist out there says, gravity is fluctuating.
Okay.
There are times that gravity is stronger, and there are times that it's not quite as strong.
And is that new, or has it always been fluctuating?
I don't know. When I was a kid, I did some experiments, and I found that gravity fluctuated. Here's what I did for this experiment. I took this little plastic disc, and I had a string on it, and I could drop it, and it would go down and come back up. It would go down and come back up.
Uh-huh.
And I'm pretty sure that was gravity fluctuating.
I see.
On my yo-yo. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Pretty sure. What do they mean gravity is fluctuating? If that's the case, I'm going to just blame that on my weight gain. Did you gain weight? No, gravity's just fluctuating today. Today's a heavier day. I will feel much lighter tomorrow, I'm sure. Where do they come up with these things?
Who knows?
It's probably
insane.
A government study that paid for that, so I shouldn't laugh because that should make me mad. It is a Friday. That makes me happy. You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. That makes me even happier.
This portion of the program brought to you by DirecTV. Sign up today at 1-800-259-7646. That's 1-800-259-7646.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Do you ever do any multitasking, Heidi?
Yes.
Where you do one thing and you do something else at the same time?
Yes.
Do you feel like you do a good job of those two things?
No.
All right. Well,
most people don't.
I've noticed that there are times where we're doing a radio program and you're playing Candy Crush.
I can't help it. You've moved me right by my computer now where we do this show, and it's...
I thought this was going to be really
Awkward.
convenient.
Yeah.
You're really quiet today. What is going on?
I don't know.
There, right there. Now you're loud.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
because you were sitting funny.
I'm sitting... The mic is sideways. Okay, I'll move it. There we
So
go.
Do that. Now,
There we go. Is that better?
Let's start over. And can we go back to 6 a.m. now? No, probably not.
We missed that window.
Multitasking is out. A study published this week says multitasking, doing two things at the same time, increases stress and lowers job performance. And it is so true. Because if you're multitasking, you can really only do one of those things really well. And the other thing you got to kind of put on the back burner. While they were doing this study, do you think they devoted all of their time to this study, or do you think they worked on other things
They
too?
probably worked on other things too.
Working on this study.
The fluctuating gravity.
Yeah, they
theory.
probably were the same people. I'm working on this study for multitasking, but while I'm doing it, I'm also going to finish up this study over here. I think that's probably what was going on. That's why it took so long to get the study.
And
Otherwise,
the vegetarian dinosaur.
if you missed those things, by the way, that was on the program earlier. And
You can
coming up,
download the podcast if you would
there
like
you
to
go.
hear those stories.
I was going to wait till the end of the program to say that, but we started a podcast.
We did.
And what we really did is we just took our radio program and we made it into a podcast. Because I don't know what the heck a podcast is. But if you want to go to our Facebook page, you can hear, you might even be listening on our Facebook page. For the people that are listening to the podcast right now, we also do a radio program. All right, and coming up on both the podcast and the radio program, we're going to head to Dallas, Texas for our next story. That is on the way. Thanks for listening on a Friday.
This portion of the program brought to you by BillionAuto.com. If you're looking to buy a car, they have a bunch of them. Maybe a billion. No guarantees on that. But I will guarantee you'll find a lot of cars at BillionAuto.com.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Caitlin Walls lost her job in Dallas, Texas. She was working at a daycare center. She lost the job before she ever started. You know why?
Why?
Facebook. Walls posted on Facebook, I start my new job today, but I absolutely hate working in daycare.
Oh.
Yeah. The daycare operators heard about the post and told her not to bother coming in. Wells said, I guess that was a big mistake.
Well, of course it was a mistake, especially when you're
Duh.
caring for someone else's children. Nobody wants to drop off a child when they know the person
I
hates
hate
kids.
working in daycare.
Yeah.
Well, then don't get a job
Bad
in daycare,
idea.
Caitlin. And her name is right in this story that's gone all over the nation. It's gone viral on internet and people. You think she's going to get a job anywhere?
Probably not. It's going to be quite a while. I have a
Especially
feeling.
not in daycare. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But no matter what it is, who would want to hire the lady that hates working in daycare, and said that
nobody.
on Facebook? So if you're not too fond of the job that you have, keep it to yourself. Don't share that all over Facebook. That's a bad idea.
At least until you get a different job.
I'm going to share something on Facebook and on the radio right now about something that I did on Facebook earlier this week. On Monday, Tuesday, whatever it was, we threw a little thing on our Facebook page because Heidi was telling me we need to go buy a lawnmower.
Yes.
I said, I don't want to buy a lawnmower because if I buy one, you're going to make me use it. I'm like, I don't want to mow my lawn. I'm going to find somebody else to do it. So I went onto Facebook and I posted the thing, said, anybody know some person, like a young kid that is saving money for school that wants to mow a lawn in Brandon? So I posted on there. I could not believe the volume of people who reached out.
Right.
That was awesome.
That is awesome.
Absolutely awesome. So, yeah, Facebook is not a worthless tool after all.
Whoever said it was a worthless tool?
That's
I've
what
never said it was a worthless tool.
That's what I've been saying for 3 months, remember? But Little C Lawn Care Services is the young man we're working with. And I was so impressed with this guy. I've got his flyer right here. Look at this.
I know.
He's an eighth
is
grader.
Adorable. And did you see how quick he got that lawn done?
I
It's
know.
like 15 minutes he was finished, and we have a huge lawn.
We do. He mowed our lawn the other day, and it says on here, small name, big services. Little C Lawn Care Services is the name of his company. He's not paying us to read this. We paid him to mow the lawn, but I was so impressed. I said, I want to talk about this. So I brought his brochure in here. If you live in the Brandon area and you want to have somebody else mow your lawn, reach out to the guy.
Absolutely.
It
He's
was
a great kid.
$25. Heidi, we paid
our
him a little
lawn.
extra because we're like, that's
Yeah,
not
I
enough.
gave him extra.
Because $25 to mow our lawn, and it's a corner lot. That's a big lawn.
big lawn.
And it says on here he's ambitious and motivated. He does mowing, trimming, removal of the clippings. He owns a rider and a push. So
he's just an awesome kid.
and the coolest thing is, he's 14 years old. He's got his stuff together. So if you want to hire a young man to mow your lawn, I've got his number here. You can call us at the station if you miss it, but I'm going to give it out. It's 610-5687. So if you're looking for someone to mow your lawn.
And he's extremely motivated. And
Very
he's
nice kid.
He's just a great kid.
And I asked him, I said, are you as busy as you want to be, or do you want to do more? He goes, I have room to do a few more. And I said, well, if you do a good job, we're going to talk about it on the radio. So he did a really good job.
He did a great job.
It's like, well, then I'm going to make sure I talk about it. Because he did it 2 days ago. If he was listening yesterday, he might be thinking, I must not have did a good job.
Not have liked it.
You did a really good job. Thank you so much for joining us. It's the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club.
I use their razors, and I absolutely love them. And if you would like to try some razors and get a little special discount and get me a little extra credit, check out dollarshaveclub.com/BigJohnSmall. I love their razors. I use them all the time.
I've tried to use them. He won't let me touch them.
Yeah, leave my razors alone. Get your own razors. They're dirt cheap. Go check them out. dollarshaveclub.com/BigJohnSmall, and you're going to absolutely love them.
Again, this portion of the program brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
I've heard of them. They're famous. That's right, Mike. They are.
A thief suspect is being fed a banana diet to help him pass a stolen necklace.
Ew.
Yeah, this is in Mumbai, India.
Would you want it back, in all honesty?
I wouldn't want him to keep it. An X-ray showed the necklace in his stomach. Investigators say Anil Yadav, I should just skip these names. Some dude grabbed a gold necklace from a woman and swallowed it. This person whose name I won't read, is being held in a hospital and being fed a diet of bananas to help him pass the pilfered item naturally. A spokesperson said, "This is what we do. It's primitive, but it's not a scientific thing to do, but it works." So if you eat nothing but bananas,
That's what I was just going to ask. Do bananas kind of help move things along?
I've never heard of that. In Mumbai, India, it does.
Huh.
What would we do here? Just send them to Taco Bell?
They'll probably just like snake a coat hanger up there or something.
No.
Hook onto it.
That was the other day. A coat hanger going down the top to get a balloon. So I don't think they would. I'm not sure what we would do here. Hey, for those of you who are trying to enjoy a meal right now, especially if it's Taco Bell, so sorry. Thank you, though, for listening on a Friday. It's time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday morning. And if you missed anything on the program, go to our Facebook page and look for the link. We are now posting our program as a podcast as well. Go to facebook.com/sunnyradio, and you can click on the link, and I don't know why, but if you want to, you could listen to anything we said today. And now the sad thing is, Heidi, all of the evidence is incriminating. So
all the evidence is incriminating.
yes, it's all there. Whatever we said, they can prove it now.
That's all right.
We are in so much trouble. Thank you again for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.